my Uber driver. Oh, I took Uber for the first time today. That was good. Very efficient. I hope we get that in Vancouver. Got them to drop me off at a cafe down here. She said this was the lower 9th ward, which, if I understand right from watching the news, is where the hurricane just devastated everything. But it sure doesn't look like it. This is everything looks pretty good here. So I don't know if she didn't know what she was talking about, or if I'm remembering wrong about the 9th ward. I would live down here. Where you can get a mix of food and drink and some real art and fashion, and also a whole bunch of touristy garbage. If it also said Harley Davidson on it, I would have bought this for you, Joe. Those are beignets, and I think I'm going to end up covered in icing sugar. Today I wish I wore white t-shirts instead of black t-shirts. So just by sheer luck, I have stumbled into New Orleans on the first day of the French Quarter Festival. So it was not planned, but it seems like it's a good time to be here. Although I feel like anytime you walk into New Orleans, you probably got a pretty good chance of hitting a festival. Things here in the French Quarter remind me a lot of downtown Havana when I was there a couple years ago. It's not too far off. Things are in a little better shape. But you know, we're maybe one hurricane away from looking just like Havana. And Havana may look a little bit like this after a year or so of the embargoes being over, now that U.S. is cooperating with them a little better. Both cities are great, just the way they are, or were, or will be. There's something pretty civilized about a town where you can just walk around the streets with the beer in your hand. At least right now, everyone seems pretty civilized. I wonder what it'll be like later tonight. One thing I'm glad I did was take a cab down here, because traffic seems to be just insane. I'm quite a ways away from the main festival, but it still seems to be pretty berserk down here. There's tons of great art galleries and stuff down here to look at. Unfortunately, none of them want you taking pictures inside, but you know, if you like art, this is a decent place to be. Lots of touristy places too, where you walk in and you just turn around and walk back out, but there's definitely some interesting art that I wish I could bring back on my motorcycle. So I have just been walking up and down every street in the French Quarter, and I believe I have definitely reached the seedier portion of town. It's still only like it's 4:15, but the bars are definitely open, and drinking is starting. This place is going to be an absolute shit show after dark, I'm sure of it. I just had a guy outside one of the strip joints yell in my face, "Mammary glands!" You see a lot of pride in New Orleans. It's good. It seems like a pretty open city. Now I just got asked if I needed a titty break. Bourbon Street is definitely the seediest part of the French Quarter, as its reputation would lead you to expect. Really, the whole rest of it is pretty family friendly. Even this part I would bring my family, but I don't know if everybody would bring their family. I have literally walked up and down every street in the French Quarter, east, west, and north, south. And mes pieds sont très fatigués. So I'm having a little rest, had some dinner here, listening to some jazz music from these cats right here. Little old school jazz. And just waiting to see if I can make it to dark or not. I'll probably be the only guy that heads out of Bourbon Street before everything gets rolling, but I think my feet aren't used to walking. They're used to working a clutch and working a brake. Here's what you got going on Bourbon Street. This is the Hustler Pub behind me. And then you got little kids playing drums across the street. So here's a little insight into my personal life, maybe a little more personal than you want, but I've actually been experiencing a bit of a pain in the ass, literally, when I ride for more than a few hours. And I haven't been able to figure out why. I've been looking at the seat, I've been looking at my riding pants, I don't know what's going on. But I finally figured out what I think it is my underwear, my standard underwear that I've been wearing for years and years and years. Have a seam right across kind of the cheek of my ass, and it's right where I get this sore spot. So today, while I was in New Orleans, I kind of killed what you could do, I think, in the French Quarter and the Warehouse District. And so I found myself looking for a shopping mall and found the Nordstrom rack at the outlet center and got myself some new undies. So I'm gonna try these out and see how I do tomorrow, because I got a long stretch ahead of me tomorrow into Florida, through a little piece of Alabama and then through Florida in new underwear. Wish me luck. So I walked about as far as I can walk, trying to kill some time until dark, and it's not quite dark. It's almost 7:30, but because I wanted to see what the nightlife was like here, but I am not going to make it, man. I'm so tired. So this is the closest you're going to get to see. Keep in mind, this is, like I said, 7:30 on a Wednesday night, so yeah, Bourbon Street is fun. I think probably more fun if you're with a group of people than just if you're a single guy by himself here. But I also think it's a bit of a shame that Bourbon Street is what everyone thinks of when they think of the French Quarter or even just New Orleans, because it's, you know, it's just a big booze up and strippers and things like that. So and it's even got a bit of a pretty foul smell to it. You know, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the sewers or if it's just the booze and the vomit and whatever, but it doesn't smell great in different parts of Bourbon Street. Anyways, it's an adventure.